Here we go. First tweet from Coach Edwards. Playmaker, anytime Key gives a reason why the Dallas Cowboys will have any success going forward, the curse is over.
Curse is over.
It is. It's over.
The curse is over.
You gotta
see, if you live with the curse, you'll know how important it is to get this thing lifted. We've lived with it for 30 years.
It's real.
The curse of what, though? What's the curse?
The Jimmy Johnson
So
curse.
what is it? Y'all going to Super Bowl? Is that what you're saying? Y'all going to win the Super Bowl? Is that what you're saying?
Right. Once Jimmy team left, there was a curse put over this thing after that last team won the Super Bowl. And
he didn't coach the last team.
Because he didn't get in, but it was still his team. It was since he didn't get in the Ring of Honor. Now that he's in the Ring of Honor, for the rest of the world to know, that means the curse is lifted.
So wait,
it's okay to win more Super Bowls now for the Dallas Cowboys.
So for 28 years, it's been 28, right?
Yeah.
So he was supposed to go in the Ring of Honor and win.
Should have gone in right after he won back-to-back Super Bowls.
So they should just put him in.
And then,
I agree with that.
Because 28 years, that math don't add up right.
It took way too long.
Okay, tweet number
there's
2.
no 5-year statute. It's what you mean.
You didn't go in right after?
Who said the Cowboys lacked a motivator in the locker room? Here he is. That's about all we have. You can do it. It's that guy.
That's me, machine. That was my movie, too. That ties in. That's right. That's the longest yard, right?
Oh, it is.
I wouldn't be telling people that.
That's the funniest movie in the world.
Wait, Joe.
I love it.
I don't like your part, though.
Oh, yeah. My part was good. Tracy Morgan part was
No,
good.
I didn't like this. No, not the longest short. The other. Using this thing with the beanie.
Oh, you talking about the little fairy thing.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, the tutu I wore.
All right, and finally, from Voice of the Voiceless, LOL, man. Keyshawn can't stand them talking about the glory days of the Cowboys on Undisputed. There's a reason Texas Stadium had a hole in the roof. Tell him, Skip.
Right.
Doc is...
Y'all know what that was, right? Everybody knows.
Well, so God could watch his team, right? There's a hole in the roof.
Well, so the roof's been closed for 28 years?
God.
Has it been closed for 28 years?
No. The curse been there for 28 years.
How the curse go? Man, I can't talk to y'all. Y'all something else.
When the roof was open, the curse was there.
Yep.
But Doc knows now.
Doc knows.
Y'all believe it.
Different.
Okay, let's talk about that other team in the NFC East, the one that has fallen on its face mask. A.J. Brown yesterday told the media in Philly that he is not mad at Nick Sirianni. He has no issue with offensive coordinator Brian Johnson or with Jalen Hurts. Listen to this.
People say I'm beefing with Nick. I'm not mad at Nick. I'm not mad at nobody. Like we have a great relationship. We ride with Nick. We ride with Brian. We just got to come out. We just got to play ball. That's all it is. Like I said after the game, I said I was raised. If I had nothing nice to say, I'm not going to say nothing at all. So I'm not just about to continue to compound the negative with the negative. So you guys can write more negative stuff. And then on top of that, everything that I do, if I say something, I do anything, I'm classified as a monster, honestly, and it's honestly the opposite, You saw my frustration on the field. It wasn't about the play call. It wasn't about none of that. It was about my guy getting banged up. And I'm gonna need Smitty moving forward.
So, Michael, hang on one second, because you do know A.J. very well. But, Keyshawn, are you buying what A.J. is selling?
Why you got to... Every show I go on since I've retired, and something comes up controversial about a wide receiver, I got to always go first. But that's fine. I get it.
No,
I get it.
We all got it, but you wrote the famous book.
Yeah.
You wrote the famous book.
I am 100%.
You went and put it on wax. We were trying to do it, well, not necessarily quietly, but you put it on wax.
100% I agree with A.J. Brown. I do. And part of it, Skip, is because I've lived it. I understand what I was doing on the sidelines and in the locker room in different places where people, your teammates will let people know whether or not you are a disruption to the team. They will let people know on sidebars. Oh, man, this dude, blah, blah, blah. They will let you know. I tell people this all the time. Just because you read my body language doesn't mean me and the coaches are at odds.
Yep.
Doesn't mean I don't like the quarterback. Doesn't mean those sort of things. I went through it early in my career in New York. I'm standing on the sideline talking to my fellow receiver, Jeff Graham, and I'm looking at the score and I smirk because I can't believe that we getting shellacked this way coming out of USC. I'm used to winning. And I'm looking up, and the first thing they write is, I think it's a laughing joke. And so
I can see that in the New York tabloid.
Yeah, it was like no laughing matter or some weird New York Post stuff. These things happen. And it gets very frustrating because, again, like A.J. Brown said, you want me to respond to a negative, so it becomes a negative again, so you can write a negative story and create more hostility than what it's even worth. I don't have any issues with Nick Sirianni. I don't. You just don't. And I understand exactly what he's saying. That is the passion that players like A.J. Brown play with. Okay, they just do. You is the fire in your eyes when something doesn't go right. You get kind of ticked off. It's not about the catches, but everybody always want to point to the catches. If me and you are having a conversation here on Undisputed and we're going passionate back and forward, first thing they're going to say is, I don't like you or you don't like me. Well, that's a damn lie. It's just that we're in a barbershop type atmosphere, and we're having a discussion that we raise our voices and do things, and we use our hands, and those sort of things. And so I agree with him 100%. It shouldn't even go down this way. They're losing. His production has slipped, and the quarterback's not playing all that well. The defense is not playing great. They look like that they're going to probably be the 5th seed. So people are looking for stories, and that is what happens.
Right, and we're history. We like to repeat history sometimes. And I thought that was an interesting interview, listening to A.J. Brown. And it did take me back to T.O. It took me back to T.O., watching in that press conference. Because I remember T.O. in press conferences. I remember him in the driveway when he got released and things went wrong. Lifting weights in the driveway, doing sit-ups in the driveway. But as I was sitting here listening to A.J. Brown, and he said, I don't want to be, I'm not a monster. I'm not a monster. So he's trying to tell you that I'm a team guy. I'm not so selfish that it's all about me. You know what I mean? I am a team guy. And I sat there and thought, I was thinking, I wonder if you'd ever gotten that out of T.O. That tells you something right there. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to be a monster. He is part of the team. Yeah, I believe him when he says, I don't have a problem with Coach. I don't have a problem with anything now. He has to say now. I had a problem with them not giving me the ball in the regular season, but now we're going into the playoffs. Oh, that's behind us. I didn't like how that thing finished, but now it is here. We're here. I can't hold on to that. There are some things you don't like, but that's okay. You got to put them behind you and move forward right now. And I thought that was big boy stuff that he just said. I thought that was a big boy moment for Philadelphia. You want a guy that's passionate like that. You want a guy that wants the football more than anything. You want a guy that believes he's the answer to help you win games. You just want a guy to know, all right now, the team, this is bigger than anything. We're in the playoffs now. It's not just about getting you passes, because any mistake means we go home. And that press conference, that's big, man. I think that's a big moment for Philly. I believe what he said.
Skip, I've never met a top-flight wide receiver, like Hall of Fame worthy, that did not want it. It showed the emotions. Only two guys, and one is already in the Hall and the other's going in the Hall. Larry Fitzgerald didn't show his emotions at all. He just was chill. And Marvin Harrison, just chill. Everybody else, that's the position. That's what it is.
It's the closest thing to the NBA that you have in your sport. It's an NBA-type star position. It's human highlight film position. Okay, so you know AJ, and you like him.
I like AJ.
Yeah. And I really liked what he had to say, because this team needed that right here, right now.
I think so, too.
But I clicked on the thread because I saw him trending yesterday afternoon after this hit the airwaves. And I read tweet after tweet from Eagles fans saying, we love you, AJ. You just saved our season. I don't think he saved their season. He said all the right things at the right time. But
you hope he didn't save their season.
I've told you from the start, that defense is not nearly what everybody thought it was or thinks it is now. They are flawed on defense. They've got severe issues where they replaced the coordinator and kicked him upstairs in midstream, and I don't think Matt Patricia is the answer on defense. And Kevin Byard wasn't the answer, and Shaq Leonard wasn't the answer. And on paper, they look great on paper, but they're aging in the defensive front, and they don't play up to their name value. When you look at them on paper, they're not playing up to their paper potential. And I think they're a broken football team on the defensive side. Late in the year, it's hard to flip a switch and suddenly say, here we go. You know, we got this now. My team's got problems. Our team's got problems. And I'm not talking about our team. I'm talking about their team. Beautifully said by him. On offense, I love Jalen, but he has not played the way he played last year. I think he's in a bit of a psychological slump that he's got to try to snap out of, and he has lost his rapport for the moment with AJ. All those things that he said will help them get back on track. But I don't think they can stop anybody. And when you can't stop anybody, you're going to have a hard time with Jalen Hurts trying to outscore the opposition.
But I believe the issue, what else came between Jalen and AJ is the number of interceptions that Jalen has thrown this year. Now, remember, early on, that 6-week span I gave you where AJ took over, he was throwing up some I trust you balls, go get it, and he went and got them. Now, when you got that many interceptions, that becomes the narrative. You're afraid of those passes. In the playoffs, that scare go away because you start all new, and he'll throw that ball back to AJ in the playoffs.
All right. And you're right, Keyshawn. I don't want them to go anywhere but home.
But we did our job and told the truth.
Okay.
We did our job and told the truth.
I'm going to tell you, they'll probably argue, I'm going to tell you why C.J. Stroud should have made the Pro Bowl.